16, but
Correct.
did that used to be 14?
It did.
It did.
Back in
Okay.
March of 2006, the law
Okay.
changed to go up through 16.
Okay.
What we really tell people is that it doesn't matter how old you are. You should have a
Right.
helmet on your head.
Right.
Because just because you turn that magic number of 17 does not necessarily mean that you are not going to have some sort of incident on your bicycle or
Right.
your skateboard.
Right.
And for adults who have younger children, they want to be role models. They should be role models.
Absolutely.
So they should be wearing their helmets too. Everybody should. It's just the
Right.
safest way to be. And there are different types of helmets.
Let's take a look at these.
Okay.
These are a little different, right?
Right. This is considered an all-sports helmet.
Okay.
This
And maybe I'll
here
hold it
is
side by
considered
side. We can...
a bicycle helmet.
Okay.
They are different in shape, but bottom
Clearly.
line, what they're both doing is protecting a brain.
Okay.
All right. When you wear a
Clearly
helmet,
visible,
right,
but-
right, exactly. We take this to health fairs, and everybody
fun,
just
yeah.
loves it. The most important things to know about wearing a helmet is that you must wear them properly if
Okay.
you expect them to be able to help you.
Okay.
So I'm going to hand that to you, and just to note that all helmets come with straps.
Right.
Riding around with the straps undone does no good. And many kids ride around
Of
without
course
the
they do.
straps
They can't be
on.
bothered. It's
Right,
hot. It's
exactly.
sweaty.
And we know that kids don't think helmets are cool. They,
Yeah.
you know, they mess their hair up, all of those things. But we
Right.
really try to impress upon them and upon parents that this is really the safest way to ride.
Right, right.
Straps should form a V around
Okay.
the ears, like
Okay.
this. And once the strap is buckled, it should be snug. It doesn't need to be choking you, but it should
Okay.
be snug. And snug means that when you open your mouth,
Okay.
that you can feel tension on
On
the
the
strap.
bottom strap,
If you can't
okay.
feel tension, it is too loose.
Right.
It also should be snug on the head. This particular helmet happens to have a great wheel on the back that allows you to
Right.
adjust, so you don't have to worry about additional pads in order to make it snug. And
Okay.
it also needs to be flat on the head. So flat on the head means that you shouldn't see more than 2 fingers worth of forehead showing. If it does, then
Okay.
it's back too far and needs to be leveled out.
Right. And that's the way they put them on so often. They're just
Right.
back here.
Right, right. And I really, truly believe it's because they don't know.
Right.
Nobody's ever really showed them.
Mm-hmm,
So it's important that parents and children understand how they should correctly wear that helmet.
Okay. And this one is worn with all the same guidelines,
Correct.
I assume, right? The same
Correct,
V-straps?
exactly. That's called an all sports helmet.
Okay.
But yes, it's worn exactly the same way. V's
Okay.
around the ears, snug strap, and flat on the head.
Okay. Now, you have, I believe, a program happening that you're distributing some positive feedback for helmets.
Right, exactly. This is our 5th year.
Okay.
It's the Middlsex County Think Positive Helmet Campaign.
Okay.
And we work with police departments in, this year it's 9 municipalities in
Great.
Middlesex County.
Okay.
And basically what they're doing is they're rewarding children for wearing their helmet. So if they see somebody riding around with their helmet on, they stop them. And they congratulate them.
Okay.
They tell them they've been caught using their head. And they
Cute,
give them a
cute.
summons. And that summons has the rules of the road on it and has a little information about how the proper helmet fit, but on the bottom there's a coupon. And in each municipality it's different. It could be an ice from Rita's Ice or
a slice
a
of
slice
pizza
of
or
pizza from
something,
somewhere, but
okay.
it's a little bit of something to say, you did a good job here.
Nice.
And then they can go with their families and go
go
get their ice
celebrate.
and ice cream or whatever. And then
That's a very different approach from the punitive approach, so
Right.
that's nice reinforcement.
And
That's
it's
to
good
see.
all around because not only is it helping show kids that they're doing the right thing and rewarding them, the word spreads pretty quickly among the
Right.
community, but also it gives the officers an opportunity to interact with
Engage
the
with the
community
kids, right.
and kids on a positive level.
Nice.
And sort of help with that PR aspect. So
Right,
it,
nice.
it works
It's a
all well all the way.
win-win,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
And you have a few reflective items. Why
Right,
don't we maybe
because if you're
mention these
out at
briefly?
night or early in the morning or the weather's bad, you want to make sure that you can be seen, whether you're on wheels or whether you're walking.
Okay.
So we have several different types of reflective items. Now,
Okay.
what I would say first, though,
Okay.
is there are items like this
Okay.
that have, and all the kids say, oh, the crossing guard wears this, but
Right.
it has reflective material on it, and it will shine, the headlights will shine off of it, and you can be seen a good 500 feet away. So that's a great
Excellent.
thing.
And very inexpensive, if I
Yes,
recall.
very,
Fairly
very
inexpensive.
much.
Okay.
And you can also go with something like this that's a sash that's worn across like this,
Okay.
and also has reflective material on it.
And this is, of course, visible from the front and back then
Exactly.
because it's a sash.
Exactly.
That's handy. Okay.
Now, easiest thing to do, if you don't want to go purchase these things, is this is reflective tape. And you
Okay.
can purchase this in pretty much any store. And the tape, it's self-adhesive. You can stick it on your jacket. You can stick it on your backpack. You can really put it wherever you need it to be so that while you're out there, you can be seen. And that's really
Excellent.
key.
Well, these are wonderful. Diana, thank you so much for sharing all of this. I know there's a lot more information to share, and we'll have much of that posted on our website.
Great.
And then we thank you very much for joining
Thanks for
us,
having me.
Diana. This was wonderful. We'll be back in a moment with Nancy Lanner, the Registered Environmental Health Specialist with Middlebrook Health Commission, and she'll be talking about food safety over the summer. We'll be right back.
You can never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. No matter how safe you feel, adding multiple safety steps can mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Hi, welcome back to Public Health Matters. We've been speaking today about summer safety tips to help keep our kids and our families safe over the summer. Our next guest is Nancy Lanner, the Registered Environmental Health Specialist with the Middlebrook Regional Health Commission. And Nancy will be speaking with us about how to keep our picnics and our summertime barbecues safe and free from foodborne illness. So Nancy, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Colleen.
Tell us a little bit about some of the things we should be doing as we prepare our outdoor activities, particularly picnics and barbecues. What should we be thinking about?
Well, the thing about barbecues is you don't have the convenience of having your kitchen with you. You don't have your sink, you don't have your refrigerator, you don't have your stove, so you got to plan ahead before you start your picnic.
Okay.
So we'll be going over a little bit about how to separate your food, how to cool your food, how to make sure you don't cross-contaminate your food, how you cook your food, and then we'll also talk about leftovers, what to do with them.
Excellent. You know, those are all things that we need to learn about anyway, but I guess there are some extra precautions we have to think about when we're outside.
Right, most people don't think, they're common sense, but most things we just have to think about so we're not having problems with bacteria and the growth in the food.
Okay, so what do we think about first? What's our
We'll start
first
with
area?
clean, because the most important thing is to wash your hands. All else, you know, public health people, we want to make sure you wash your hands.
Okay.
So I brought with us a couple little things. If you don't have a sink or running water, you should bring water with you. You want to make sure that you have water that can rinse because you want to wash your food. So you want to have soap or some kind of water to wash your hands.
Right, and that's the ideal, of course.
That's the ideal. The
our
ideal is
first
to have a
ideal.
running sink,
Right.
but if you can't, you should bring water with you to wash your
Okay.
hands.
Okay.
If you can't bring that, you should have hand sanitizer with you or
Okay.
hand wipes with you to make sure
Okay,
that you can wash your hands.
okay.
After washing our hands, we want to, care about the food.
Okay.
So we'll deal with cross-contamination.
Right. Can you explain for us first what cross-contamination means before we go into the techniques?
Sure, cross-contamination is you don't want to mix your meat products with your fruits or your salads, or ready-to-eat foods is what we call foods that you're not going to do any kind of process to, like cooking with.
Okay.
So we'll talk about ready-to-eat foods and then raw foods, which are going to be your meat products.
Okay.
You don't want to have your meat juices go into your ready-to-eat foods such as these,
Okay.
because you're going to contaminate them.
Right, okay.
So when you're packing your cooler, you want to make sure that you place your meat products in a Tupperware container like this to make sure no juices can come out, and you want to make sure that you pack these on the bottom first.
Okay.
That way your salads are on top, so if anything does happen and this does leak, that you'll be able to, they'll go down
It'll all
and
be
not up to your
contained.
salads.
Right, okay.
Also, when we talk about cross-contamination, we're talking about preparing food. When you're about to throw the burgers onto the grill or the hot dogs or the chicken, whatever you're cooking on the grill, you want to make sure that you place that on a plate that's separate from the vegetables that you're going to throw, like corn or any other food that you want to throw on.
Okay.
You also want to make sure that you don't reuse the same plate that had the raw food products on it.
Right.
Concerning the meat.
And that's exactly the kind of thing, I mean, I've seen it happen, and it's, wait, you need to stop them, because it's sitting there, right? And people just aren't thinking, oh wait, remove that and switch it. So it's important to remove that, get it right out of the way so you don't even think about putting your grilled food back on it.
Right, you have limited space when you go, especially if you're going out to a park to barbecue.
Right.
You want to make sure that you plan ahead, that you have one plate, for your raw meat products and one for the cooked, and also one for your vegetables. So you want to plan ahead what you bring. If that doesn't happen, you want to make sure